Hello, Jeff.
Hi.
Yeah, so I'm so honored to be talking to you today. You know, as one of the first blockchain developers. I mean, you maintain the whole system. You know, you make all this possible. That today we are here talking about blockchain and the empowering of the black people, the empowering of the minority groups. The what question that I have for you as a developer, as a person that really made the whole thing possible. I always feel that the developers are the people that made the whole thing possible. Have you ever thought during that time that this technology will have such an impact in the lives of the people?
We really did, to the point where we were maybe a bit nervous that we were shaking the system so much. And so in 2010, 2011, I really did live in fear of being arrested, just not because I was obviously breaking a law, but we're changing money. That is so central to most power structures in the world, whether, I don't want to get too deep into politics, but whether you fund, this war or this government or whatnot, it all comes down to money. And if you change money, you change power structures and who's running the banks, who's running the government. It all comes down to economic incentives, et cetera. And so we really did feel like yes, we're empowering people with this new system, and yes, we are going to disrupt the status quo. But at the same time, we had a little bit of fear. We said, is that status quo going to bite back? And so, myself, I don't want to, take credit for this. There were many developers who contributed all over the system, but there was that excitement that you're changing the status quo from the bottom, from the grassroots, and empowering folks to control their own destinies by controlling their own funds. Most people don't think about when you have a bank account, that might be your bank account, but someone else can just flip a switch and say you don't have access to your own money, or you can't pay this person that I don't like. That's what's wrong with our current monetary and banking system, is it's very disempowering, and this technology was the opposite of that. But there are risks whenever you're shaking up the status quo, and I really did worry that I used to have long hair, and I did worry that this long-haired guy, might get tossed into prison for changing the world.
Awesome. I mean, like I can't stop appreciating, you know, what you guys are doing and what you guys you did. And maybe my last question for you is, what is it that conferences like this one or summits like this one can do more, maybe to support the people that are developing the systems, developing the protocols such as the Bitcoin? What is that we can do more for the community of developers?
Well, perhaps I'm biased since I'm a computer programmer, a software engineer, but I really do feel that everyone should learn software programming, because so much of our world, inside or outside blockchain, is controlled by algorithms.
Yeah.
And so if you are the one who's writing the algorithms, that's sort of more power than your average person in our society. And so I think that you can personally empower, you can empower your community, you can change the status quo by gaining that knowledge about how to master computers. Because if you master computers, you're really becoming a master of what everyone interacts with on a daily basis, what everyone is in some ways controlled by. When I go to find a coffee, I'll ask Google Maps to tell me how to find the nearest coffee shop. So an algorithm is telling me where to go. And someone wrote that algorithm, and someone put together those computers. And if you're in particular in a disenfranchised community, you can get outsized amounts of power by gaining that knowledge yourself, educating, in particular, how to program computers, how to build software, and so that you can so that people who use that software can live their lives in an independent way.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I really appreciate your work, and I'm looking forward to even speaking to you more and on how we can take the skills that you have and take them to Africa and to places like Botswana and all that, and see, what more we can be able to disrupt with this technology. Thank you very much for that opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah.